Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to a very special show today on the Sikh channel, where we are joined with a very special guest who I will introduce shortly. And first of all, I just wanted to give a small brief about the subject of music. We as humans can see that the tones of music can give us great heights and depth of emotion, and that's something we were going to talk about today on today's show. And we were going to think about Guru Nanak Sahib Ji's beautiful, powerful tool that he's given us, and that is the spiritual practice of Kirtan. Kirtan meaning praising the divine. So today in the studio we have a very special guest, a Kaur who is also on a mission. So let's welcome Manika Kaur. Benji, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you for having me on.
That's not a problem. Thank you for coming all the way from Dubai. Which you are currently based in Dubai, and coming over to the UK to see us here in the studio. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about your childhood and your experiences, and how you got into singing.
I was born in Melbourne, and I grew up in Melbourne, and I grew up in a very unique way because my family did Guru Granth Sahib Ji Seva. So my parents would fly Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji's from Harmandir Sahib to our home in Australia. And then we would clean the Guru Granth Sahib Ji's, change the rumalas, and we would set up palkis, and then we would take Guru Granth Sahib Ji's to people's homes around Australia and do the seva of the Pehla Prakash. So this started, actually the first time Guru Granth Sahib Ji's came to our house was on my 12th birthday. So it's been 20 years that we've been doing, that I was involved in it. And so growing up like that, it was a very spiritual home to grow up in. And Kirtan came automatically because when we would have Kirtan Seva at home or in people's houses, we would start singing along, and then my father, he donated some vajas and tablas to the Gurdwara. And then we all started playing and jamming, is what we call it. We'd have jam sessions and just kind of try and work out different shabads. So I started pretty young, I would say.
So, obviously, Seva started within your family at quite an early age. Has anybody actually had a crucial role for you once you started your musical career?
Career?
Is that's what you could say it is? You know, you've started Kirtan, and that's, in a way, what you've been doing for the past, as you mentioned, 20 years, and it's in a way your job, that you're travelling across the world and spreading Guru's message.
I guess I guess I've been doing it longer than I realized. But yeah, it started very organically and very naturally. Just sitting with my brothers and sisters and having jam sessions, playing vaja tabla, and because we were in Melbourne, there were no teachers that time, so we kind of self-taught. Or if there was a Paiji that would come all the way to Melbourne, at that time it was a very far away place. Now the world is a very small place, but if someone would come, then we would ask them to show us some shabads. But yeah, from that to this, I never thought I would be doing this. It just so happened that I got married and I moved to Dubai, and in Dubai there was no Gurdwara. And growing up the way I grew up, and having Gurdwara be such an important part of our lives, and Kirtan and Seva, I always thought, how am I going to manage living in a place like Dubai with no Gurdwara? This is going to be too much of a change. I was 23 at the time. And then so I got married in May, and in July, on my birthday actually, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum signed the permission for the Gurdwara for the community. After members of the community had been asking for 4 years, it finally came, and it was like the best present ever.
Definitely. It's what a beautiful gift that obviously, you know, Guru has given you. I was reading as well in your profile that you made quite a large contribution to the Gurdwara through your music.
So this is exact. So when the permission came for the Gurdwara, it was the best news, because when I got married, it was May, and from May to July till my birthday, I was wondering, oh my God, there's no Gurdwara, and there's only socializing, and that's it. That's all there is here. Where's the Kirtan? Where's the? So it was a difficult adjustment. So when we got the news, it was such a priceless, happy moment. And then to top it off, the sheikh gave the land to the community, gifted the land to the community, which is such an incredible thing to think about, being a Muslim country,
Yeah.
gifting the land to the community. I mean, you won't even get this in India. But you'd get this in a place like Dubai. So this is a really incredible thing. But then from that moment, I started to do ardas and say, you know, God, allow me some way to be a part of this seva. Because I grew up doing seva, and all of a sudden there was no seva.
Yeah.
When I got married,
Felt quite lost.
Yeah, so I felt quite lost. So a couple of months later, I had a dream, and in the dream, I'm holding a CD, and I'm looking at the CD, and it's raising money for the Gurdwara. And I turn it over, and this is in the dream, and I see my photo there, and I see my name, like, oh my God, this is my CD. And then I woke up, and I looked at the time, it was 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then a couple of hours later, when I was up with my husband, I told him about my dream, and I said, I think I'm supposed to do this. I think I'm supposed to create a Kirtan album to raise money for the Gurdwara. And he was very supportive, and he was completely on board. And a few months later, it was Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurab, and we had Kirtan in the house, and Sukhbir happened to come.
And Sukhbir is...
Sukhbir, the Prince of Bangra.
Yeah.
So he happened to come to the Kirtan in the house, and my husband spoke to him and said, you know, Manika wants to do this project. And he's such an incredible person. He just immediately said, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Just to be part of the seva, just the idea resonated with him. And when we started working on it, it just flowed so naturally and so easily, and like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, when we were printing the books, for example, the company that printed the books, knowing that all the funds would be donated, did the entire printing for free.
I think that's, you could say that's the beauty of seva, that each and every one of us has a certain skill which we can apply to seva in their own ways, and that's how obviously you've experienced with the album.
I just feel like, you know, it's so much bigger than an individual. It was as though the entire universe brought all these people together to create this, and everything just happened. It's hard to describe. It was like, it's almost as though I was just watching them happen at times.
Wow.
Although I was a part of it, it was like I'm just watching this amazing thing unfold in front of my eyes, and I'm just realizing that truly Guruji, God, Vaheguru, Allah is guiding this, is opening the doors and making things happen, because he has to build his Gurdwara, he has to make his home, and he just uses people to, you know, moves us around to get the work done. We're his little worker bees, you know, getting the work done.
Definitely.
That album went to raise over 1 million dirhams.
The album, it was Bandhana, was it?
Bandhana.
Bandhana, yeah.
Hanji, it went to raise over 1 million dirhams, which we then, you know, was donated to the Gurdwara. And it was, to be honest, a very small contribution, because the Gurdwara project was a very expensive project. And the entire community, even people from outside the community, donated. Wow. And this Gurdwara is only possible because of all those people. And I think for me, what was really touching was when I would be standing there trying to sell CDs to raise money for the Gurdwara, and it's like 50 dirhams a CD, is 10 pounds or something. Laborers who, that 50 dirhams is a lot of money. Laborers would come in and they would empty their wallets.
Wow.
Just so that they could be a part of it, so that one brick on the house of God would be from them.
Yeah.
And it was just incredibly touching to see that, and just to see how generous people could be, and also the realization that often the people who have less are the most generous. Because it was all these kind of smaller earners that would come together and pull together to make a large contribution. Larger than an individual who would be completely capable of doing it wouldn't be capable of giving the way these people were.
That's fantastic. I think sometimes listening to your journey so far, dreams really do come true.
Yeah, you know, I don't think I could dream this big. You know, I could never dream this, what's happening. Now that with this current album, I Bow to You, Vaheguru, it's raising money to educate children in Punjab. When you go to Punjab, when you meet these children, when you see that they have nothing, genuinely have nothing. They sleep on the floor, on a cement floor. They don't have enough food. Education is too expensive for them. $1 a day is too much. The earner of the family or the father of the family only earns $30 a month. So buying milk and bread is luxurious for them. So they truly have nothing. And what education can give them, what education provides them, the hope, the ability to break out of the cycle of poverty is such a big gift. And if we can be a part of it, then we get to rejoice in that gift. We get to experience it with these children, because it's not like we're really capable of giving. It's actually they're giving us the opportunity to do seva. And that's the amazing thing about this whole thing. So I can't even think this big what's happening. It was really after the first album was completed, and I thought, okay, what now?
Yeah.
This is done, the Gurdwara is built, money is donated, what now? And I kind of just wondered for several months. I was like, I feel so like lost now again, like, because I was doing something and now I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
And so I started doing ardas again. And I have to say, everything starts from ardas, from that prayer, that meditation.
We don't realize sometimes how powerful the ardas can be.
Absolutely. You must ask first. You know, always for everything, go and ask first. Go and take permission. Because that, once you go and ask, once you take permission, you've put it out there. Now it's the universe's responsibility to come and give it to you, you know, to come and create that opportunity for you to achieve that or to take those steps. So I started asking Babaji, what next? And then I just all of a sudden saw it in my head. I wanted to create more albums. I thought to myself, if one album could raise this kind of money, why couldn't another album? Why couldn't I do this again? Create another beautiful album that would help people feel connected to God, help that relaxation feeling, help young people connect to Kirtan, because I think that there's definitely, you know, a bridge or a gap happening there with youngsters connecting to Kirtan and understanding Kirtan for what it was. And kind of, so creating something like that, but also working towards a good cause and working towards something that means something to our community. And something that would also join so many people together. Because again, it's not about one person. It's not about me. It's about everyone coming together to create and make this seva possible. Because if people weren't buying the albums, if people weren't buying tickets and coming to the concert, how would I raise that money to educate those children? So that was the birth of the concept Kirtan for Causes. So now I've created a foundation, the Kirtan for Causes Foundation, which is going to be basically doing that, creating beautiful Kirtan albums and videos and projects which have that Sikhi element for good causes.
I was just looking at your new album, I Bow to You, Vaheguru, and looking at the artwork, I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera, it's just beautiful, but it reminds me a lot of Maharani Jind Kaur. I don't know if that's got something to do about it or...
Absolutely.
It has?
So I'm so happy that I am so happy you noticed that.
I actually had to look twice, I was just like... And then obviously, if you'd like to explain a little bit more about the concept behind the artwork.
Yeah, absolutely, I'll do that. So Maharani Jind Kaur was a brilliant woman. She was strong. She was...
fearless.
Absolutely fearless. And she was she's a wonderful example of a Sikh woman. And so the Kirtan album, the sound in the Kirtan album has this old world feel. Like I have the sarod, I have those typical instruments, I have the tabla. And there's some bits where the music have a very traditional old world feel. But yet the music has a completely new sound. So it's the marriage of something which is old, which is worth respecting, which is worth acknowledging, and merging it with something that is new and today and current. And so when I saw this amazing painting of Maharani Jind Kaur, I was like, this is what we should do. We should take this painting, but make it completely new. And you know, some people will pick up on it and realize. And if they don't, we actually released an article about it as well, that this kind of pays tribute to this incredible woman. And, you know, like, I wanted it to feel like if I was looking back through my history books, that would be my grandmother. And
Yeah.
here I am, her great-great-granddaughter,
Yeah.
wanting to be just like her. So that's how I kind of
Yeah.
came up with the concept, and this painting was created.
Yeah.
We actually did a photo shoot first.
Okay.
And then we took that photo and we did a painting based on that photo, just to give it more of a textural feel.
It's beautiful. I think it looked really nice as a canvas.
Oh,
on
we
the
we
wall,
do
so-
have a canvas version,
Yeah.
but we also had to think, you know, from a different point of view. Like, when you're trying to sell a CD in a shop, you've got that much space.
Yeah.
You've got kind of this much space on a wall with hundreds of CDs. You've got this much space. So we wanted something that was striking.
Yeah.
So if you actually look at the image closely, everything is painted except the eyes. The eyes are digitally put in, so they're my actual eyeballs, digitally placed in the picture. So it kind of looks like she's looking at you or I'm looking at you.
But do you say that when you look at a painting, when you look at the eyes from any angle, it's as though the painting is looking at you? So now I am kind of seeing that.
Yeah, that kind of feeling.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. You know, there is so many hidden gems within our faith, especially with females, and that's something that, you know, I advocate quite a lot, that I do feel that there is, and Maharani Jinko is a beautiful inspiration to us all. One of my favourites on the album is Oki Karina Re Kambi, and I was just hoping if we can have a quick snippet of the video, so if we can just go into that now. Wow, what a playful video with all the children, and I bet you had so much fun creating the video.
So this is the thing. So we went to, in April, we went to Amritsar.
Okay.
And we drove out into Khadur Sahib to shoot this video. We shot the video over 3 days.
Okay.
And the kids were just amazing. You know, they didn't complain. It was hot.
Yeah.
It was so hot. And the end scene, which you see only for a few moments, we were out in that field with 200 people for 3 hours, just shooting a walking scene.
Wow.
So a lot of work went into this video.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, all the kids that you see in the video are the kids that are being educated through this initiative.
Okay.
So it's just incredible. You can see it on their face. They're not acting. They're really showing you what it's like. The concept behind the video was Gyan Di Jyot, which means knowledge is light.
Yeah.
And so this is what we wanted people to see, that even though they have nothing, education provides them with a place to go, a uniform to wear, something to eat every day, and books. And what that does to that child who's not just sitting in the street, it gives them a purpose. It gives them something to look forward to. It allows them to socialize, to make friends, and to have somewhat of a normal childhood.
Yeah.
It's nothing that we could ever understand, but to them it's such a big thing. And it only costs $1 a day to put a child into school. And to us, that dollar isn't much, but to that child, it's such an incredible...
I think I can understand, I can relate to that, in fact, on a few personal projects that we've done ourselves in Punjab, and you see the passion for education with the kids out there, and just simple things like mental arithmetic. You know, here we're using a calculator, there, it's all here.
Yeah.
It puts us to shame, it
That's
really
true.
does. But they want to learn, they want to grow, and that's the beauty of education, especially back out in Punjab.
And it's, you see in Punjab today, the drug problem is growing.
Yeah.
Today the statistics is that 1 in every house is
Yeah.
addicted to drugs. Not to mention that the suicide problem there,
Yes.
it just keeps getting worse. You know, to swallow pesticide is one of the most painful ways to die. It takes hours of suffering before you finally vomit up blood and die. And these parents, because they can't handle the pressure, because they can't pay their debts or pay their bills, they would rather go out into a field, swallow pesticide and die. That's not something, that's just think about that for a second. That's how bad it is for them. So if we don't do something to change this, if we don't save a generation through education, because that's what we can do, and it is very possible, then what are we doing?
Yeah, I think it's, we have a duty, it's our responsibility as well. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he's created the Khalsa Panth, and that's not just your biological family, but it's a wider family. Recognize the human race as one, and everybody is a part of this family.
But Guru Gobind Singh Ji also gave a hukam that all Sikhs must do daswant.
Yeah.
So let your daswant be educating a child. If every Sikh family in the world adopted one of these children, just one, and educated that child throughout their life, and educating them in India doesn't cost a lot. It's not like you're paying the fees you would in the UK or in other parts of the world. If they would just educate that child, we could completely change the future of the Sikh Panth. As an entire community, we could come together and create this kind of change. And these kids have so much potential. They could do so much for their community if they were given the chance.
Yeah.
We need to figure out a way to come together and do something as a community together, instead of just worrying about ourselves or worrying that, okay, it only matters for the people living in my country. We need to understand that we are beings of the universe. We don't belong to any country. And it's even said that, Sikhism isn't a religion, it's a way of life. And our religion is humanity. So if we start thinking like that, and we stop judging people, and we stop focusing on what someone may be doing that we perceive as wrong, and instead we start joining in on all the causes, and joining in on all those people who are taking an initiative, wouldn't that be something brilliant? Because isn't Sikhism based on love?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's support all the young people who are making an effort to tell the stories of the Sikh gurus, tell stories of, and do stories and videos that have something to do with Sikhi and our heritage, or record kirtan albums and work towards good causes. Let's come together and support them instead of judging them.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to mention as well, you've come to the UK for a concert on the 22nd, Kirtan for Causes, and obviously the viewers who are watching, they'd love to know a bit more about it and hopefully be able to buy tickets and attend.
Yeah, so the concert I'm doing is at Union Chapel, so it's a non-alcoholic event, and if you just imagine singing Kirtan in a huge chapel, the acoustics will be just quite divine.
Yeah.
And so Talvin Singh, Jyotsna Sirikant, Kirpal Singh Panesar, Juliana Modorelli, they're all going to be on stage with me performing. They're all brilliant artists, and they will really bring so much feeling to the Shabads, because they play from some other place, really. And so the concert is the 22nd of August. The tickets are available at unionchapel.org.
Okay.
And all proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, go towards educating these children.
Okay.
So through album sales and through ticket sales, through concerts, all proceeds, 100% goes to the children. There's no costs that are taken out in between.
Okay. Wow, so it's going to be a great mix. Obviously your velvet, soothing voice, and then you've got Talvin Singh and other artists being able to collaborate really and share the message of the divine.
Well, I hope
it's going to be spiritual bliss, definitely will be.
22nd August, I'm going to see you there, I hope.
Booked it in my diary.
Yeah, and I hope people will come, because even if we sell 10 tickets, we can educate one child for a couple of years. So bring your family, bring your children, bring everyone along. My 4.5-year-old is going to be there. And I promise to come and go around and give everyone a hug for coming and supporting the cause. And CDs will be available there as well. And, it would really mean a lot if the community could come together and support this.
So finally, is there anything special you would like to accomplish as an artist?
There's a lot of dreams. So my next thing that I'm really praying for is to build a girls' orphanage in Punjab.
Okay, wow.
Because there's no proper girls' orphanage in Punjab. So where do the girls go?
Yeah.
And you keep reading and hearing stories about babies in dumpsters or because they're girls, or little girls just being killed off.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous that there's no girls' orphanage there. So, I think just with the politics there, trying to get land, trying to get permission, I don't know what will come of it.
Yeah.
But it is something that I'm praying for. So from a causes perspective, that's what I want to work on. From a Kirtan perspective, I am about to start working on my next project, which is which is an EP, with Talvin Singh.
Okay.
And we actually want to go into Punjab and record the lost instruments, a lot of them that were created by our gurus and invented by our gurus, and the different instruments and lost arts that are no longer played today. So really a tribute to something more traditional. And yeah, I really would love to kind of take Kirtan to a much more mainstream market, and kind of maybe doing a concert at maybe Royal Albert Hall one day.
Wow.
And I'd love to hear from everybody, so you can contact me through my Facebook page, Manika Kaur, through Twitter @Manika Kaur. You can YouTube me, you can leave messages for me, you can email me through my website, manikamusic.com. Please get in touch, please get motivated, get active, and join in the cause, and please, please, please come to the concert. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.